Growing old is a journey that everyone goes through, but reaching the age of 80 is something truly remarkable. It's a milestone that very few people achieve with good health and clarity of mind. At this age, the body has carried a person through decades of experiences, through childhood, youth, middle age, and the senior years. But the body at 80 is not the same as the body at 50 or 60. It has lived longer, worked harder, and carried the weight of time. For seniors themselves and for their families, it's important to understand the unique changes that happen after 80. These changes are not always negative. Many of them are natural adjustments, ways the body slows down and adapts to its advanced stage. But knowing what to expect helps older people live with dignity, peace, and confidence. It also helps their loved ones support them in a way that truly matters. In this deep dive, we will explore 5 important changes that happen to older people's bodies after the age of 80, changes in strength and mobility, in the heart and circulation, in the brain and memory, in the immune system, and in the senses and skin. Each one tells us something about aging gracefully, and each one holds a lesson in how to live wisely at this stage of life. 1. Strength and mobility. The body slows down. One of the most noticeable changes in people over 80 is how their strength, balance, and movement are affected. The muscles that once carried heavy loads or walked for miles without effort are no longer as powerful. Muscle mass shrinkage, sarcopenia. After 80, many people lose a significant amount of muscle mass. This isn't just about being weaker, it's about having less support for bones, joints, and balance. Even simple tasks, like climbing stairs, carrying groceries, or standing up from a chair, can become challenging. This process is called sarcopenia, and it happens because the body doesn't produce muscle proteins as efficiently as before. Bones become fragile. Alongside weaker muscles, bones also lose density. After 80, the bones are much more porous and brittle, making falls especially dangerous. A fall that might have caused just a bruise at 50 could result in a hip fracture at 80. Recovery is also slower because healing cells don't work as rapidly as they once did. Balance and coordination decline. The inner ear, nervous system, and muscles all work together to keep a person balanced. After 80, this system is less precise. This is why seniors are more prone to losing their footing, stumbling, or feeling dizzy. That's why walking aids, handrails, and simple safety measures become not just helpful, but essential. The lesson in mobility. Mobility changes after 80 are not a sign of weakness. They are a natural slowing down. But this does not mean one should stop moving. In fact, gentle movement, like walking, stretching, or light exercise, can keep muscles active, prevent stiffness, and even improve balance. The body may be slower, but it still thrives when it is used with care. 2. The heart and circulation. The engine works differently. The human heart is an engine that never rests. By the time someone reaches 80, their heart has beaten over 3 billion times. Naturally, it undergoes changes. The heart muscle stiffens. At 80, the heart muscle is not as flexible as it used to be. This means it doesn't pump blood with the same strength or speed. Some people notice that they tire more easily, get short of breath, or can't tolerate strenuous activities. Blood vessels narrow and harden. The arteries, which carry blood from the heart to the rest of the body, also lose their elasticity. They may become stiff or blocked with fatty deposits. This can increase blood pressure and reduce circulation to vital organs, including the brain, kidneys, and legs. The lesson in heart health. The heart at 80 is still powerful, but it requires respect. A senior who understands these changes will pace themselves, listen to their body, and prioritize rest. Instead of forcing the body to perform as it did decades earlier, wise elders learn to live in harmony with their heart's rhythm, embracing calmness, steady activity, and gentleness. 3. The brain and memory, a different kind of intelligence. Perhaps the most fascinating changes after 80 occur in the brain. This is the organ that has held a lifetime of knowledge, memories, and emotions. But after 80, the brain functions differently. Processing speed slows. It may take longer to recall a name, solve a problem, or respond to a question. This does not mean a loss of intelligence. It means the brain prefers to move at a slower pace. Memory becomes selective. Some details fade, like where the keys were placed or what was eaten for breakfast, while deeper, older memories often remain clear. Stories from childhood, lessons from youth, and long-forgotten songs often come back more vividly. This selective memory can actually make conversations with elders incredibly rich because they often recall life lessons that younger generations can benefit from. Risk of cognitive decline. It's also true that after 80, the risk of dementia and Alzheimer's increases. But not every 80-year-old experiences these conditions. Many remain sharp, thoughtful, and insightful, though they may speak more slowly or need time to gather their thoughts. Wisdom takes center stage. Even as certain cognitive abilities slow down, wisdom deepens. People over 80 often have a calm perspective, an ability to see the bigger picture, and a deep sense of what really matters in life. While the younger brain may be quick, the older brain is steady, balanced, and deeply intuitive. The lesson in mental aging. The brain after 80 should not be judged by speed, but by depth. Instead of expecting sharpness in every detail, families and caregivers can learn to value the perspective, wisdom, and insight that only someone with 8 decades of life experience can provide. 4. The immune system, a fragile shield. The immune system is the body's defense force. It fights off infections, heals wounds, and protects against disease. But after 80, this shield becomes weaker. Slower response to infections. When a younger person gets a cold or a cut, the immune system quickly reacts, fighting germs and repairing tissues. After 80, the response is slower, which is why illnesses may last longer and wounds heal more gradually. Vaccines are less effective. While vaccines are still important, the body of someone over 80 may not respond as strongly because the immune cells don't produce as many antibodies as before. Greater vulnerability. Pneumonia, flu, urinary tract infections, and skin infections can be more serious at this age. What might be a minor illness for a younger person could become a dangerous condition for an older adult. Chronic inflammation. At the same time, the aging immune system often creates more inflammation in the body. This can worsen conditions like arthritis, diabetes, and heart disease. The lesson in immunity. The immune system at 80 is fragile, but it is not helpless. Good nutrition, enough sleep, gentle exercise, and emotional well-being all strengthen it. Seniors should not see their weaker immunity as a sign of failure, but as a reminder to live more carefully, avoiding unnecessary risks, and focusing on health and balance. 5. The senses and skin, the body's windows to the world. Finally, we come to the senses and skin, the parts of the body that connect us to the outside world. Vision changes. Eyesight often becomes weaker after 80. Cataracts, glaucoma, or macular degeneration may cloud vision. Reading, recognizing faces, or walking in dim light becomes more difficult. Hearing loss. Ears also change. High-pitched sounds are harder to hear, and conversations in noisy environments can be frustrating. This can sometimes make seniors withdraw socially, not because they don't want company, but because it is exhausting to keep asking people to repeat themselves. Taste and smell diminish. Food may not taste as flavorful, and scents may not be as strong. This sometimes affects appetite, leading to undernutrition. Touch becomes less sensitive. The skin thins and loses nerve endings. Seniors may not feel temperature changes as quickly, which increases the risk of burns or frostbite. Skin fragility. The skin itself becomes delicate, bruises easily, and heals slowly. It is also more prone to dryness, itching, and irritation. The lesson in the senses. Even as the senses weaken, they can still bring joy. Glasses, hearing aids, textured fabrics, delicious spices, and music can enhance experiences. Families can support seniors by speaking clearly, ensuring good lighting, and offering foods rich in flavor and nutrition. The senses may fade, but they still provide connection, comfort, and meaning. Final thoughts. Aging with understanding. After 80, the body changes in ways that are both expected and profound. Muscles lose strength, the heart beats more gently, the brain slows down, the immune system weakens, and the senses become softer. But none of these changes take away the value of life. In fact, they highlight it. The human body is like a long-serving house. After decades of use, it may creak, slow down, and need more care. But inside, it still holds warmth, wisdom, and stories that no younger body can carry. For seniors, understanding these changes is empowering. It removes fear and replaces it with acceptance. For families, it teaches compassion, reminding us that patience, respect, and gentle care are the greatest gifts we can give our elders.